Hello everybody, welcome to Class with Jazz. My name is Jazzella McKeel, or you can call me Jazz, and I'm here to give you my free video series on 5 ways to instantly create better photos, no matter what camera you have. So this is actually the second episode of the series. So if you haven't watched the first episode, you should definitely go do that. But here, I'm going to teach you the second way to start instantly taking better photos. And you do that by, drum roll please, creating an amazing composition. So what is composition in photography? All composition is how you arrange the elements in the photograph in the frame. So how you compose the image together. That's what composition is. Now, if you're in the studio, you have a lot of control, right? You have control of the lights, the background, the subject. But if you're not in the studio, all you have what is in front of you, and then it's up to us, the people behind the camera, to adjust ourselves to still create that amazing composition. And that's what I'm gonna teach you today. So one of the first things you need to do to have a great composition is think about the focal point. The focal point is what is the first thing you want your viewer to see when they look at the photograph, or what do you want them to focus on? Once you have your focal point determined, you are then going to follow the edges of your frame to see what you're working with. Okay. So this is my camera. Her name is Grace. She is a Canon 6D, and right now I have the 50mm lens on there, the nifty 50. Okay, but this is what I mean when I say follow the edges of the frame. So if you're looking in the viewfinder right here, or you're looking through the screen, you still follow the edges of the frame with your eyes so you can know exactly what you're working with in the photo. I do this all the time, okay? And that way you can see exactly how everything is framed in the photo, what is on the edges of the photo, and also how your focal point looks inside that photograph, right? So that's super important because you create an amazing composition by having a great focal point and also knowing what's around that focal point that makes up the photograph. Now, when we determine composition, there's a lot of things that you can add to create a beautiful composition that draws in the eye of the viewer. Now, one of my favorite things are leading lines. So let's say, for instance, I'm taking a picture of my earrings, okay? So if I'm taking a picture of my earrings, my shirt can actually be a leading line. A leading line is something that just draws your eye and leads your eye to your focal point. Now you can use a lot of things to lead your eye. You can use color, texture, capture anything really, depth of field. So when something is blurry in the background and super sharp or bokeh, right? Those types of things also lead you into your focal point. Okay, so get really creative. Start thinking what can be your leading lines. For example, maybe you're taking a picture at a park, right? And you're taking a picture of your son kicking a ball, and there's a sidewalk there. Maybe find an angle where that sidewalk creates a leading line to your son, okay? So that person can see the sidewalk, and it's gonna lead them to the subject, which is your son, the focal point. I don't know if that was a good idea or a good example, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. But leading lines are so important, and you want everything to go into your focal point. Okay, so start getting creative and start thinking of amazing things you can do to create a beautiful composition by first getting your focal point, okay? Second, looking at what is in your frame by following the edges of that frame. And third, create leading lines to your focal point that will create an amazing composition. Okay, so that's what I have for you today for composition for episode 2 of how to take better photos no matter what kind of camera you have. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode. Until then, love God, love people, and follow your dreams. And follow me too on Instagram at Jazzella McKeel and on Facebook at McKeel Photography. I definitely will see you soon. Peace.